Okay, everybody, this is Mr. Lincoln here coming to you with lesson 8 and 9 in PowerPoint today. We are going to be looking at how to do some changes to the order of our slides, how to make duplicates of our slides, and also how to do stuff like transitions, which is basically like when you go from one slide to the next slide, how can you make it cool and interesting looking instead of just like flip. Okay, do something interesting with that transition from one slide to another. Okay, first off, if you are following along at home, I'm going to need you to pause the video and go to the Google Classroom. There are 3 files to download: PowerPoint P08 Try A, P08 Try B, and P09 Try. Okay, you're going to need those 3 files downloaded and in PowerPoint format. Unless, of course, you don't have that, then you can just open them up with Google Slides as best you can and try and follow along as much as possible. Okay, so with that in mind, the P08 Try A is the first one that you need to open up. So pause the video, get those files, and you're back. Great, good. All right, so everybody take a look at the board. We brought up P08 Try A. Okay, and Try A, we're going to do a couple of things to get these slides arranged. We're also going to do stuff like how to clip slides and like cut and paste and stuff like that. So one of the things that I found out, and you're probably going to find this out if you've got to do a lot of stuff with PowerPoints, is basically you're going to say, hey, I've got a slide with a bunch of information, but I'm kind of running out of space to do it with, okay? I've got like maybe if you had like twice or 3 times this much information on one slide, and you guys remember the rule that I had, right? The 7 by 7 rule. No more than 7 lines per slide. After that, it starts to just get too cramped, too much talking. People are going to get like, they're going to get frustrated trying to read it, so they're not going to read it. So what you can do is you can make copies of these slides and maybe break the information up into multiple slides. Okay, that's what I did a lot. If I had like a text, if I had a lot of text in my slide and I was like, I just don't have enough room for all this stuff, I would make a duplicate copy of that same slide. And on the first one, I would keep lines like 1 through 4 and delete lines 5 through 8. And then on the second slide, I would delete lines 1 through 4, keeping slides 5 through 8, or keeping lines 5 through 8. That way, it's like I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 on consecutive slides. Okay, and that broke it up a little bit, made it easier to digest. It was 2 slides of the same information. You know, it's like I was able to like, you know, keep this. I didn't have to retype anything. I didn't have to like go through a lot of, you know, like super duper cut and paste and weirdo operations or anything. I just made a copy of the same slide and deleted half of the information off of one slide and the other half of the information on the other. So that was a way to quickly save time and effort. All right. All right. So let's take a look. P08 Try A. In the book, it says click on slide 3. Okay. We like this slide. It's got the same layout and the nice text features and everything that we want to use elsewhere. So let's say that we need a copy of this slide so that we can slightly modify it and use it for some different information. We are going to copy this slide. Okay, it's simple and easy to do. You can go Control-C for copy, or you could also go to your clipboard area and there's a copy button right here and you click on it and it copies. Now, to paste a slide, a full slide, you of course kind of sort of have to tell it where to go. Okay, for example, scroll down your thumbnails here. You have slide 4 and you have slide 5. Click in between slide 4 and 5 and you'll get a little red line, a little orangey line there. Click in between slide 4 and 5. Now, Control-V, or go to Paste and just click on Paste. And it drops a slide right in there in between slide 4 and what used to be slide 5, but is now slide 6. Okay, so copy paste gives you a copy. Yes, and as some people have found out, you do have to click on the slide. You have to click on the slide to actually let PowerPoint know what it is you're trying to copy. Okay? So you clicked on slide 3, then you went in between slides 4 and 5, and you pressed paste, or you did Control V, and it dropped a new slide, the exact same slide, in there for you. Okay? Another way to do that, you can go and cut and paste, actually, but also cutting is good. Okay? Let's go to slide 8. Scroll all the way down. The last slide is slide 8. Try the Control-C. Oh, wait, no, let's not do that. Let's do something even better. A faster method. On the copy thing, there's a drop-down thing that says duplicate. Duplicate just basically means copy-paste the slide underneath this one. Okay? Or you could click on the slide you want to duplicate. Duplicate means make a copy of. Right-click on slide 8, and one of the options is to duplicate. If you duplicate, it drops an exact copy immediately below. Immediately below. See, like I said, when I was doing this duplicating stuff, I would take like one slide, and I would take out, you don't have to do this, you can just watch me do it. Everybody watch. So back in the day when I had too much information on one slide, I would just take half the information, delete it out, go to the duplicate copy, and then delete out the stuff that I left on the original slide. And now I have 2 slides with different information, but that information is split up between 2 slides. And so now it's like I'm not like violating that 7x7 rule. Okay. All right. As for what the book says, it says go to slide 8. Slides can be cut. They can also be deleted to get rid of them. Control X to cut. Cut out slide 8. Control X to cut. Or use this little cut right here. Or also right-click and cut. That works too. There is also a right-click delete slide that will also get rid of it. Okay, most of the time whenever you use cut, you are going to, like, at some point immediately after that, paste. That's usually what happens. You cut and then you paste somewhere else. Remember, the way to tell it where to go is to click in between the 2 slides where you want it to go. So if you want this in between slides 5 and 6, you would click in between slides 5 and 6, and then you would say Control V to paste into there, and that's where the slide would go. All right, let's say you've got multiple PowerPoints at the same time, and you're trying to get information from one PowerPoint into another. That's a pretty good idea. Why would you duplicate work? Why would you duplicate efforts? You already did this stuff in one PowerPoint. Why don't you just do it again in another? Like, how can I get that to happen, though? Take your P08 Try A, and you can make it go mostly over the screen, but go to your P08 Try B and open it up as well. So have P08 Try A and P08 Try B. And if you open it up, they kind of overlap each other a little bit like this. Okay? Go to P08 Try A and go to View. Go to the View tab on P08 Try A. Okay? Now, if you wanted to see 2 different versions of P08 Try A to look at the same thing at the same time, you could go to New Window. Everybody click on New Window. Now you've got 2 versions of P08 Try A. Okay? So if you wanted to take a look at the 2 of them at the same time and compare notes and be like, do I like this or do I not like this? Okay? You could basically put them side by side and be like, do I like it this way or do I like it that way? Which one do I like? Which one's the better one? Okay? By using the New Window, you basically create a Tri-A:1 version and a Tri-A:2 version. Okay, so you got two different versions, and you can look and see which one you like better as you compare and contrast these two together. All right, go ahead and click on the X for the Tri-A version 2. Remove that. Okay. Now, go to Tri-A, go to View, and then try this out. There is one called Arrange All. Arrange All arranges both of your PowerPoint presentations side by side. Okay, so if you have P08 Tri-A open and P08 Tri-B open, and you do Arrange All, it will put them side by side for you. All right, so we've got some stuff in P08 Tri-B that might be something that we're looking to transfer into Tri-A. How can we get it there? Well, go ahead and take a look here in the thumbnail pane. On P08 Tri-B, slide 2. This is some information that we could use in our Tri-A presentation. So go ahead and copy, Control-C. Click on slide 2, say Control-C, or use this little copy button right here. And now go to P08 Tri-A, get in between, click below slide 3, in between slide 3 and slide 4. You may have to click once to get into Tri-A, and then click a second time to indicate that you want to get in between slides 3 and 4. Now Control-V or paste. Now, when you paste, you usually get one of these paste options button. You can paste it to where we use the same theme as what we have in this presentation. Or you could keep the original formatting for this presentation by using this one, or you could picture. Okay. See, if I choose the second option, the use the source formatting, then it looks exactly the same as it did originally. But if I use this one on the left that says use destination theme, that means I want the theme that is in the P08 Tri-A version. Okay. All right. Now, there is also a faster way to do this. Go to slide 3. I'm sorry, on Tri-B, go to slide 3, this one with the table on it. Click it and drag it over to P08 Tri-A and get underneath slide 9. Aha. Now it drops it in there. It drops a little copy into your Tri-A. Now, notice though, it is in the style and format of the Tri-A theme, but unfortunately, look at this. Your table is on top of your title. Okay, what's up with that? Go to the Home tab. Go to the Home tab. In the slide area, underneath the Layout section, there's a button that says Reset. Reset puts all of the boxes back in their original positions. Go ahead and hit Reset. Ah, that's better. Much better. Now I can see my title. How are we doing, folks? Good. Oh, good. Oh. All right, good times. Now, one of the things that you can do to rearrange stuff into a more pleasing order, let's go ahead and close out P08 try B. You don't need it anymore. You can go ahead and maximize on try A so that you can see all the way across the screen. Go to the View tab. Go to the View tab, and one of the views here on the left is something called Slide Sorter View. Slide Sorter View. Slide Sorter View allows you to see bigger thumbnails than you would on the left-hand side. You can see bigger thumbnails, and you can kind of see what order they're in, and you can see them all at once. And you can say, hey, I should probably talk about this stuff before I talk about that stuff. Let me see. How about, first thing, let's go ahead and get on number 7, which says complete your degree. Click and drag that in front of slide number 2. Because we should probably talk about, completing your degree before we talk about, trying to get new jobs and stuff like that. It's like you got to finish college first, right? Now, slide 4 here is the same as slide 7. We only need one of those slides. So click on slide 4. We're going to mention this stuff later in the presentation. So click on slide 4 and press the delete key to get rid of it. Okay? So anytime you want to move something around, you just click and drag, and it kind of moves the other one out of the way, and you can see, yeah, that's about where I'd like to put something like that. We got rid of slide 4, and now it's moved up a little bit. So anytime you want to rearrange these slides, it kind of like moves the other ones out of the way, and you just kind of like put it down in there, and it's like, yeah, that's where it should go. You kind of make decisions like that about like where things should go and what things should be talked about first, and you can make a lot of decisions based on like the flow of your information from the slide sorter view. Okay, so that's a real quick and easy way to view your slides and try and figure out what to do with them. Okay, now let me quickly, I will get the slides version of this. I'll talk to you guys who are people without PowerPoint. The people without PowerPoint, I'm terribly sorry about your situation. The best we can do with a lot of this stuff is to do the best we can. We do have these slides here on the side, these thumbnails here. Okay, copying and pasting, you can Control V, go in between, Control C to copy. Select where you want it to go, Control V for paste. You can right-click and duplicate a slide. Okay, in the same way that you could right-click, duplicate slide on the other one. There is also the edit. Under the edit tab, you can duplicate slides. You can cut and copy and paste slides as well from the edit menu here. To look at these slides in an arrangement, where was it? Grid view. Here it is. In the view section, grid view will allow you to basically see it in the slide sorter format. Okay, but all it does is move it as a line. It does not do the fancy thing where it like moves the slides out of the way that you can see them like being moved out of the way. Okay, there is no real arrange all. It's kind of because this is a web page, so it's like there's no arranging all of this. It's like, if you want to do it again, it's like you open up another copy of it, and then it's like you can kind of like put the web pages next to each other and resize your web window and stuff like that. Okay, you'd have to do all that stuff kind of sort of manually, so there's a lot less functionality in that regard. Okay, all right, so that is basically that. Now let's go ahead and open up P09 Try, your last slideshow of the day. P09 Try. Andrews, is it still locked up? All right, close out your P08s, open up your P09. You do not have to save things on P08s if you don't want to. Okay, P09 is talking about slide transitions, okay? Basically, if I do this slideshow right here, and I go from one slide to the next, it's just like bam, 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 new information, plop, plop, plop. Okay? That's boring. That's old school. Let's do this new school. Let's do this better. Okay? First off, click on slide 1 if you're not already there. Click over here on the Transitions tab. The Transitions tab is right here. Okay? A lot of these transitions, they, for some reason, are not doing the previewing effect. But you can usually just click on them to see. And if you don't like anything, you can always just go back and click on none. Now, some of these are real quick. That wipe, you can see this duration thing right here. It takes 1 second to do the wipe function. Okay? It takes 1 second to do this push. Okay? The random bars. Transition to the next slide in 1 second. Some of them, though, take forever. Fall over takes 2 seconds. Drape takes 2 seconds. Prestige takes 2 seconds. Which is the one that's the kind of sort of ridiculous. Honeycomb. Honeycomb takes 4.5 seconds. Okay? Now, that's kind of sort of pushing it as far as people's ability to tolerate how long this stuff takes. So, you don't want to lose people's interest. You want to keep them like, it's like, ooh, fancy, wow. But also, they're kind of going to get used to it by the 3rd or 4th slide, and it's not going to be so cool and wow anymore. So you kind of want to choose the ones that don't exactly take forever. Like, for example, everybody find the one that's called curtain. In the quote-unquote exciting, I don't really agree, in the exciting transition known as curtains, it takes a full 6 seconds of duration to do that slide transition. Oh my God. You want to see something funny? Watch this. 6,000 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, fine. 60 seconds. Watch this. Oh my God. Slowly opening. Okay, that's enough of that. All right. So when you have something that's got like this, like a 6 second duration on it, go to the duration, crank that sucker down to like 2.5. Okay, that's still pushing it, but if you do the preview, it at least moves at a slightly brisker pace and is done quicker, taking a little bit more, less than half the time that it did before. Okay, that's tolerable. Okay, normally you don't want to try for like that full 6 seconds every single slide because that gets annoying after a while. Okay, now notice over here. You guys, can you guys see it? You guys see the one? That means that this is slide 1. Notice that there's a little star underneath it with some little action lines around it. But notice that 2 does not have it. That's because 2 does not have any transitions. Watch this. Okay, we got our transition for slide 1, and then we go to slide 2. Pow! What happened to our fancy curtain thing? Well, only slide 1 has a transition associated with it. Everybody go back to slide 1 if you need to, and do this apply to all button. Apply to all. Now look underneath 2, underneath 3, underneath 4. Now there are transition stars on all of them. And when you play the transition, it plays on all of them. Okay, so that apply to all basically allows you to put your transition that you have chosen on all of your slideshow. Okay. Now, if you want to do a different transition on one particular slide, you can go to that particular slide and change it. Okay, and it's not being applied to all of them. Okay, and if you don't like it, Control Z is your friend, and it puts back the original slide presentation. Now, sound. Sound is another thing that you can put on your slideshow, but be cautioned. Be cautioned. Everybody pay attention to me right now. Sounds can be nice, but sounds can also get real old real fast, okay? If you are a super narcissist and you put applause in as your sound because you need to be congratulated every single time you do your slideshow, that's annoying. That is really annoying. Okay? Don't overdo it. Things like applause that are really long, take forever to do, those suck. Chime, not bad. Chime is not bad. It's just real quick. But as you can tell, after a while, this will get annoying too. You know what I like? I like whoosh. I like whoosh because whoosh is quick. Whoosh is pretty quick. Whoosh is pretty simple. Whoosh is effective. It gets people's attention, but it doesn't like really annoy you after a while. There was one presentation that I did when I was in college. It was my intent to make people really on edge with my presentation. So I chose to do this fracture one, but I also got a clip of glass breaking, a glass breaking sound. So every time every slide went, it would do like this. And like the most nails on chalkboard annoying kind of glass breaking sound, the one that kind of makes your shoulders go up when you hear it, like like, oh my God, I broke a window. Okay, like every single time. And my friends were like, oh my God, that was really annoying. And I'm like, I know, it was the point of it, to keep you on edge during this presentation. All right, so don't do that to people. Unless it is definitely your intent to make your PowerPoint really annoying, Ernesto. Unless your PowerPoint is intending to be annoying, do not do things like bomb. Okay, every single time, that's annoying. All right, so choose something nice. How about arrow? And apply to all. Okay, that's a nice sound that doesn't really like mess with people. Okay? Now, the final thing here on the right-hand side, how to advance your slides. Everybody knows that you can click your mouse button and that will advance the slide to the next one. But did you know that there's a way to automate your slideshow? Yes, click on this thing that says after. Click on the thing that says after. Set the after to 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now apply to all. Now, if you're a super duper kind of marketing genius and you've got one of these PowerPoint presentations ready to go for your customers, you can set, and you can actually set them individually now. You can set the advancement of slides to after a certain amount of time, and when you play your slideshow, you can talk about strategies for finding information and listing the possible sources and blah, blah, blah. And then after 5 seconds, without touching anything, your slides advance to the next one where you can talk about research strategies and being okay. And then you can talk about the next one, which is extracting and using information, and talk about your stuff. And if you get your timings down, you will know exactly when to go to the next slide. You can set them up for a particular amount of time to where you automatically finish up at the right time. See what you mean? See what I mean? So you can have your slideshows automatically flipping through at certain times. If you're doing a presentation of you personally, you can set it with how long it usually takes you to get your information across. Or have you guys been down to the counselor's office? They've got that TV in the corner, and the TV is always like showing new and different information about who's like what and all that stuff. Okay, there's not like Miss Jimenez is not in the back of the office just like clicking away every time. You know, they don't have like somebody clicking that slideshow through. They do automatic advancement of slides after a certain amount of time, and not 5 seconds. Like, this is way too much information for somebody to read in 5 seconds. Okay? You'd have to be like a speed reader to get done with this in 5 seconds. So normally it's something along the lines of like 30 seconds or something like that. But it's like you also need to make sure that you're advancing it at a reasonable pace so that people actually know that these slideshows are in fact not just a single slide. Like if you put this on for like 3 minutes, advance the slide after 3 minutes, yeah, people are going to think that this is like the only thing in the slideshow. Because they're going to be like, well, I totally read that. Now what? Okay, I don't really see anything changing. Oh, well, I'm going to pay attention to something else. So you do have to time these out to where it's like it's a reasonable amount of time for someone to read. Now, keep this in mind. Some people, like yours truly, read pretty fast. It can get information quickly. Some people are not good readers, and they read like this. List the possible sources. Evaluate which sources are best. Okay, they read that fast. Now, you can't always leave it, like at that speed. You can't like do that because other people will get really bored and then they won't know what to do with themselves. Okay? So you gotta strike a fine line between refreshing it fast enough to where people have time to read it, but also refreshing it slow enough to where it's like it's not overwhelming to people trying to get through really quickly. Okay, there's a fine line to walk. How long you take with those. Okay, that is our time for today. You may close out your presentations now. As far as transitions in your Google Sheets, I'm sorry, your Google Slides, really quickly, slides have transitions. They are once again very simplistic. Okay. There is a transition button here. There is also slides. On the slide one, there's transition. Okay. You can choose over here. You can choose what kind of slide transition, but there's a very short list of these. Okay. And you can kind of choose the motion speed with this, and you can choose to apply it to all slides. And you can see if you want to test it out, you can hit this play button. There are very limited options in the transitions of the Google Slides. So if you are doing slides instead of PowerPoint, and I give you an assignment that calls for a particular slide, choose the one that works best. Put away your phones. The class is not over yet. Thank you. All right, that's it for today. Have a good day, and we'll see you later.